Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, we've got a post here on Reddit and it's in regards to an exclusive interview with Mance Harmon, who has now become the Hedera Council Chairman. And I thought I'd share this with you. I'll be completely transparent throughout this video, and this is why I'm doing this, is because I do want to be transparent with the audience. That's my personal role, I feel, as a content creator. So I always want to show you the good, the bad and the ugly. And I haven't watched the full interview yet, but I've got the gist from the comments, and so I wanted to just go through this with you. And look, I feel like for me a lot of respect is due to Mance, because it sounds like he's been very honest here. I will say this, like, for me personally, I'm not overly concerned with the information I'm going to give you, so I do want to make that clear. But I do think he did give us some hard truths here. And for me, I want to share that with the audience, because the way I look at it, we're all invested in HBAR here. We all want to know the truth. We all want to know how we feel about our investment. So I've always told you guys, I'm going to keep it honest with you, whether it's good or bad. So I want to share this with you, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this. So the video you can watch, I believe it was the HBAR Bull who did the interview, but forgive me here because I haven't checked that. But it is on the Hedera subreddit thread. So if you go to r/Hedera and if you just search exclusive interview with Mance Harmon, it should come straight up. Okay, so we've got here a guy who's a top 1% commenter, and he said, "My take. Things have taken much longer than anyone anticipated, and we still don't have anything tangible in the way of meaningful revenue to show for it. And as far as GC members, we are still probably at least a year away from something hitting mainnet. Hopefully Neuron or Dovu or some other non-GC application gets cranking sooner rather than later." Okay, cool. Very honest take there, and obviously Mance has clearly been honest too. And then I've just got one other post that I want to show you here as well in regards to this. So we've got another guy who says, "As a 5-year holder of HBAR with over 250k in tokens, that was an eye-opening interview for sure. The good. Mance seems confident in the longevity of Hedera. I'm holding my tokens till either a certain appreciation in value or they go to zero. I am too, quote, invested, unquote, at this point to walk away, and I do believe in Mance and leemon. The bad. He's moving to a role to convince the governing council of their need to utilize a network without it be self-apparent is a huge concern. Again, is Hedera a solution in search of a problem? Big corporations will absolutely move in first market scenario when they easily see a value prop or ROI. Not having one paying use case by any of the 30 plus members speaks volumes. The ugly. I think Mance is definitely feeling the pressure now, in that retail has about had it with funding this project and having had no definitive time frame on a decent ROI. I realise there have been some newbies this past year that have made good money, but for us old-timers, it's wearing thin. Also, his stance on staking is alarming to us that have been around for years." Okay, so I'll be honest with you, obviously I haven't watched the video, so I don't know what his stance on staking is. When he says old timers, that just makes me think, I'm wondering if he's someone who like invested into HBAR when it was really around its peak in the last bull run, right? Because when he's saying there's newbies who've come in and made profit, like I've been buying HBAR way lower than what it is now. I think my average buy-in for HBAR was probably between 6 and I think 10 cents, something like that. So obviously if these guys have been buying where, for example, HBAR was rallying in the previous bull run, so for example when it was 40 cents or something along those lines, right? They're probably down right now, so they're probably waiting for this, you know, this big value price appreciation. So if that is the case, I can understand, but this is the thing where I will say your opinion can probably differ depending on where you are. So for example, I'm in profit right now with HBAR. If I was to sell right now, I would make profit. So maybe my thought process is a little bit more biased because I am in profit, whereas this guy's bias might be a bit more negative because he's not in profit possibly, right? But I want to get into this and say why. First and foremost, I want to give props to Mance Harmon, because from what he's saying, from what these takes are that we're getting here, it sounds like he's been honest. And to me, I've always said this because this is how I am as a content creator. I'm honest. I want to give you the truth, no matter how hard it is to hear or whether it's good or bad. I respect honesty. You know, that's how I am. So I respect honesty. So I really appreciate him telling us this, because this is what I've said before. Like, as an investor, I want to know the bad things too. I don't just want to know positives, because if you only know the positives, there could be something bad around the corner that they're not telling you about that could really make you change your decision on whether you want to stay invested or not. Now, for me, this hasn't done anything for me to shake me out or shake my faith in Hedera, if I'll be honest with you, and I'll explain why shortly. But yeah, like, I would rather know so I can make informed decisions. And this is why I'm telling you guys, this isn't me to trying to like spread FUD or anything like that. I'm just showing you what people are saying going off the basis of the interview. I can be honest and say I haven't watched the interview properly, so it could be that I could watch it and have a whole different take. But I'm going by people here who seem like they're not just trying to be negative. They're being, you know, like, this guy gave you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it's not like he's just tried to, you know, be all negative. He's giving you each take on what the positives and the negatives are. So I can appreciate that that's going to be honest. I don't think there's any reason to doubt that. And I've read through this Reddit thread and no one's questioned the take. People are generally all in the same kind of sentiment here. Okay, so in regards to this then, so I'm going to show you what my response was in regards to this, and then I'm going to basically just tell you my thoughts as I flesh out what my comment was. So I actually replied and I said, I'm using Ripple as a source of reference here, but I get the general feeling that all these networks/companies thought that crypto technology would be adopted a lot quicker than what it's taking. David Schwartz said Ripple went all out focus on cross-border payments and it didn't work out how they hoped, so they looked at other use cases like tokenization to expand the XRP ecosystem. Is there any big network out there right now that is thriving and making huge money? Genuine question. Either way, I respect the honesty. I would rather he tells it like it is than try to deceive us and make out like everything is fine. I could be wrong, but I'd be surprised if Hedera has all these partnerships yet doesn't make it successful from at least one single use case. And then one of the guys who put a comment that I've read out to you earlier, he actually said, I could not agree with you more on all points. So he was completely in agreement with me. And so, yeah, like that's my general sentiment here. Like, this is my thing, right? When people think about this, you know, this technology, this is what I say to a lot of people, like, we are still early, right? And while these companies are utilizing the technology, like, we've not got to like the mass adoption phase yet, right? And so I think this is just a thing at the moment where, yes, you have got these companies testing out the technology and stuff like that, but I don't know if they're fully ready to just move over yet. But I think now, obviously, you've got a crypto president and more things are happening. I think that's going to start to come now, right? So for me, I don't look at this as a scary thing because, as I said, like, you've got all these, you know, council members with Hedera. Like, the amount of content that I've done, I find it hard to believe that not one of these use cases would not end up bringing money to Hedera. I find that hard to believe. Like, if this, let's just go with the thought process of this. If Hedera fails and they literally just don't make any money as a network, and all the things that I've shown you that are going on with the Hedera hashgraph and the ecosystem, I would be shocked. Like, I would literally be shocked. It would be crazy to me. I just don't, I can't see it. I really just can't see it. Like, Hedera has solidified itself out here. It's got partnerships for a reason because of the technology. I just don't see how it doesn't work out to have success in at least one use case. I think it'll be more than one, but it only needs one to be successful. If you have one use case that turns out to be like hugely successful, that's it. That would be enough for them to continue to use it, right? But I think there'll be more use cases. That's why I do feel more confident in Hedera, because it hasn't got all of its eggs in one basket. It's got numerous, right? And so, for me, when I do look at this, I just look back to thinking what I've said to you guys for a long time, and I still say now, we are still early. You don't think it because you've been in this space for, let's say, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. That's still very early. Like, we're still not at a point yet where we actually have regulations set in stone. We're still waiting for that to come. We're not at a point yet where we've got mass adoption with crypto. So when we do get to those points where it is being adopted on a bigger scale, that's where I think the money and the value comes in, because that's when it's like, okay, the technology's here, it's being utilized, everybody's, wanting it and whatnot. It's not going anywhere. Like, it's evolved or be extinct now. We've got to start utilizing it properly. And that's when I think it comes, personally. And I've said this before. When you look at these bull runs at the moment, these bull runs are not based on utility. They're based on wild speculation. That's it. That's why you see so much swings and roundabouts with it, right? Because it's just speculation. There will be a point, in my opinion, where the speculation will not be as focus driven, and I do think it will be more based on the networks that have real value. So if you think about like the stock market, you have like the companies like, Amazon, Tesla, that rose to the top because they have a really good business model. Like, these are successful businesses. They really made it out to be huge companies. And I think eventually that's what the crypto market will get like. You'll see, the networks and the tokens that are really gaining value are the ones that are really being utilized and really like serving a purpose. That's what I think will happen. Now, again, I don't think this is going to happen overnight. I think it'll happen a lot quicker now because you've got a US president who is pro-crypto and they're trying to do things where they're integrating blockchain technology. But I still think that it's going to take time. Like, I still think it's going to take time even from here. So for me personally, I don't really have a concern about this. And, one of the things that they said there in terms of the good takes was that Mance seems confident about Hedera's longevity. I feel the same way. Like, I look at everything that's going on. I still feel like Hedera is going to be here long term. I don't see it being a network that fades away. I just don't see that. And so I just think eventually you will get to a point where this technology will be adopted and utilized, and to a point where, yes, it is making them money. Now, look, maybe I'm, head in the clouds, being overly optimistic. Maybe, I don't know, but I just don't. When you've got this many partnerships, like, first and foremost, you don't just get partnerships like this for no reason, right? Like, they've clearly looked at the technology, trolled it out. They see something in Hedera that they think we want to try and contribute to its success. You wouldn't get these companies just doing this for no reason. Now, I have heard that like Hedera has kind of potentially like paid some of these clients to test them out. So they've kind of gave them HBAR to try it out. Even with that, again, I've got no issue with that either, right? And I'll just explain why. Quickly, if you're a business, let's just say you own a restaurant and you wanted to go and try and get your restaurant exposure. What's the type of thing that you would do to try and attract people to your restaurant? You give out free samples, right? Now, that's something that is a business cost to you because obviously you're still doing the food, but you're giving it out for free. But the hope is that people will try it, they will like it, and then they want to come to your restaurant. I don't see that as any different. Now, I get because people are investing money, they might look at that and think it's, this is our money that they're wasting trying to get people, onto the network. But it's like, well, what's the alternative? They just don't bother and then no one's trying out the technology. Do you see what I mean? So like, I don't really look at it as such a negative when they are trying to help get adoption for the network. So to me, it's whatever it depends on the way you look at it, right? Can you tell what I'm saying here? And so the other thing I'll say is this. We are still supposedly in a bull run as it stands, right? We'll see how that goes. It's a bit touch and go at the moment, but from the analysts that I watch and follow, they believe the bull run is still currently intact. If you do get this bull run in this alt season, you'll be in a position to make money anyway, because as I said, this is all based on speculation. So I'll be honest with you, all this stuff about, this stuff like utility wise, that's really more the long term stuff. Like in this bull run, if we do have alt season, unless HBAR is like a crypto that just doesn't hit a new all-time high, well, then you're going to make money, right? Because when we have alt season, most cryptos that are like, generally valuable and haven't been like rug pulls and stuff like that, they usually will hit a new all-time high. I'm not saying every single one will, but most will. And so I'd be very surprised if HBAR was one of the cryptos that didn't hit a new all-time high. Do you see what I mean? Like that would surprise me. So the way I see it is like, even for the people who might be concerned hearing some of this stuff from the interview, hey, like this bull run is speculation. This isn't no utility driven bull run or anything like that. This is pure speculation. So just based on that alone, you should still get your opportunity to make money regardless, because with alt season, all coins just generally go up. So unless we're very unlucky and HBAR happens to be one of the minor cryptos that doesn't perform in the bull run, then you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine, which I think will happen. That's my personal opinion. I can't say anything for sure, but yeah. So to me, I'm not really concerned with this personally, but I did want to share it with you because I want to show you that I'm trying to be honest here. Like, I'm trying to give you not just always, positives. I'm trying to give you like the reality of the situation too. But for me, it's not something that gives me any cause for concern. Obviously, if anybody has anything more that you want to add, please feel free to drop a comment, and if you want to give any more context to this, then you can. But yeah, obviously, if you guys want to check it out, I do intend to watch the interview at some point as well properly. So if obviously my thoughts change, then I'll come back and revisit this. If I watch the interview and I think actually this has changed my whole perspective because of XYZ, I'll come and do another video and I'll cover it. But just wanted to share this with you guys, as I think it's important to know the truth, and I always want to be a content creator who's being straight up with you guys. So I hope you can, respect the honesty that I'm giving to you. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Take care.